Welcome back to No Buy 2025. Today I'm going to be talking about my 2025 goals, both in the beauty and YouTube sphere as well as offline in my day-to-day life. So if you guys are curious to hear what my 2025 personal goals are and hopefully willing to share some of yours down in the comments, then I hope that you will stick around and keep on watching. Well, hi everyone. I hope that you guys are doing well. The hair as always is not up for discussion. The hair has been through a lot today. It has been a long day. There's like a piece here. I don't know what it's doing. We've had rain, sort of snow situation here today. I've been running around outside and teaching. So if I look like a disheveled sheep, what can I say? We are going to try. Notice I said try to do a quick video today. Famous last words. I wanted to do a chatty video and just sit down and discuss some of my 2025 goals. I'm not really a resolutions kind of person. I mean, I try to set certain goals for myself and some of them pan out and some of them don't, and I'm really hoping that this year more of them pan out than in certain previous years. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that if I do a video on this and I put this out there into the universe, that I will hold myself more accountable and actually stick to more of these goals. Before we jump in, let me quickly introduce myself. For those of you that are new to my channel, hi and welcome. My name is Natalia. I'm a concert pianist who loves all things beauty and makeup, and I have acquired so much of it that I have decided that it is time to curb my spending, curb the buying, and do another no buy year. So hence no buy 2025. I did one in 2020 and here we are again. We've come full circle. So if you are interested in following my journey and seeing what happens along the way, as well as if you're looking for a community that will help you in your mindful spending or maybe anti-consumerism or any sort of no buy and low buy goals, then please consider subscribing. Join us here. We are happy to support each other. Let's get into my 2025 goals. All right, let's start with my YouTube makeup goals. We're just gonna jump right in since I said I want this to be a quick one. I just jotted down some things that I'd really like to see happen this year. And I'm not even so much talking about like subscriber count. I mean like personal actually makeup usage goals for the most part. So speaking of, the very first thing I wrote down on my list is I would like to wear makeup 2 to 3 times per week this year. If you guys have been around, you know that while I absolutely adore beauty and makeup, I actually in my daily life don't wear it as often as one might think. Being a concert pianist, my primary means of sustaining myself is teaching, and I teach kids for the most part ages 5 through seniors in high school before they're off to college. I just have this policy. I don't even know when I came up with it or if I ever really thought it through. It's just been what I've done most of my life. But I, for the most part, do not wear makeup to go to work because, as I know I've mentioned before in my channel, we live in a world where there's too much for kids to deal with as it is, with social media and now AI and just the whole premise that, you know, we all have to put on our best face and look our best, and there's so much non-realism online and filters and this and that I just want kids to see normal faces without enhancement and just interact with people that they look up to, you know, their teachers. Just see what day-to-day life without needing makeup to feel better looks like. I don't really wear makeup to enhance. I mean, sure, if I go out, of course I want to look more put together and I want to enhance certain features. But for the most part, I don't wear makeup necessarily as, what's the word I'm looking for? before. I don't feel like I am any less beautiful or more beautiful whether I wear makeup or I don't, because at the end of the day, most people, I don't think, really care that much. Everybody's got their own things that they're dealing with. So whether I have time to put on blush and eyeshadow or not, I don't think is really going to change my interactions, at least in my daily world. Again, I don't work a corporate job. I'm not in a beauty field where I feel like it's, you know, kind of expected. So for me, makeup wearing is a hobby and just something I do for more special outings and special occasions. Of course, if I'm performing, I always wear makeup on stage. If I'm going out to a nice dinner or a show or something, of course, I make a little bit of effort. But again, it's for me, and I don't feel like I need to be wearing makeup when I am around kids. However, I'm not saying I need to do a full beat, but I do, for me, want to wear makeup a little bit more often. I've started to enjoy it more and more again. I had a little bit of a slump back in 2024, and I also, because I want to test more of my collection and rotate through more of my products, realize that unless I am wearing makeup a little more often, that's not going to happen. So that's my first goal, is wear makeup 2 to 3 times per week in whatever capacity, even if it's minimal. My second goal is to do 2 project pans this year. Now, one I already posted a video about, and I have jumped into it head first, and I have been enjoying some of those products. I have not decided what my second project pan is going to be or when it's going to be, but at some point this year, I would like to do at least one other project pan. On that note, and this one I put in parentheses because I really don't know if I'm going to do it, but the second project pan might be a pan that palette, but if it is, I will select a mini companion palette that I can use along with all of my other eyeshadow palettes, because I definitely am more in the mindset of rotating through all of my eyeshadow palettes and trying as many of them this year as possible, reusing or using for the first time, than I am actually using up any eyeshadows. So this one is a big if, but I figured I'd put it out there in case you guys have any feedback or any thoughts on that. Another thing I'd like to do this year, or rather bring back this year, because it is something I did back in 2020 when I was on my first no-buy year, is to track my empties. So not only show you guys my empties, but actually track the cost of the empties, just to see like how much money am I getting out of my collection. I don't know, there's something very satisfying about seeing us actually use up our products, but also it puts things in perspective and really makes us think about, okay, well that is really expensive and maybe unnecessary. Like, did I really enjoy it to justify that price tag? Or can I, in the future, once I run out of that category and I'm no longer on my no buy, can I find a more affordable alternative? So I just want to get a perspective and a handle on what am I using up and how much did that stuff cost me? So we're going to track empties with actual dollar signs attached to that. Something I have talked about a couple of times on my channel, and I have definitely gone ahead and started already tracking behind the scenes, is I am doing a no pan left behind type project this year. This was something that I think was started by It's Just Steph and possibly 1 or 2 other people, but I discovered it through It's Just Steph, and it is basically where you track usage of specific eyeshadow palettes, and you have to use each shade in that palette at least once before rolling it out. Now, I will do a separate video on how I'm going to do that project, because most people do like a random generator and let that, generator decide which palettes they're going to use. I don't think I'm going to do that this year. I think I'm going to do it in a slightly different fashion, but we'll see. I'm still working out the kinks on that one, but I am going to be doing a no pan left behind. And the other thing that I'm going to do, not as diligently, like I'm not going to do spreadsheets because I am not a spreadsheet kind of girl, but I do want to, maybe in just some small handwritten way, just keep track of my eyeshadow palette usage in general, just to see which palettes I have used this year and which ones I did not at the end of 2025, and maybe make some decisions for 2026 based off of those numbers. Last for my YouTube/makeup goals is my upload schedule. You guys know I've never been the most consistent consistent. In fact, the most consistent I've ever been has been, of course, during the pandemic, because there was just more time and we were stuck at home. But I would like to, on average, upload 1 to 2 videos a week this year. Now, I've already this month have fallen behind in the first couple of weeks, and I am trying to catch up a bit and post a few more videos before January is over. If I miss a week here and there, I'm not going to be too upset. But the reason I set this goal is I've noticed that I, at the start of the year, get reinvigorated and re-excited for filming and uploading, and I last about 4 or 5 months, and then I get burnt out because, of course, with life and just work and everything, it is a lot to do this on the side, and I end up taking several months off and then coming back like in the fall. I don't want to do that this year. I'd like to keep the whole year as consistent as possible. So again, if I miss a week or two here and there, I'm okay with that, but I do not want to disappear for months at a time, and I'd like to see if I can somehow plan ahead and make sure I still have videos posting, even if I have to take a longer break for whatever reason. So that is basically it for YouTube and makeup goals. Nothing too drastic, I don't think, but at the same time challenging enough to keep me busy and keep me motivated. And I figured in the second half of this video, I would take you through some of my other life goals. If you're not interested in this part, I totally get it. You can X out and that's that. But if you're curious to see what I'm going to be working on off camera in my, personal and private life, then we're going to jump right in. First one, this is such an obvious one for so many people, and I have gotten on the wagon with this and then off the wagon and then on the wagon and then off the wagon, and I am determined that 2025 is going to be the year where I get on and not get off. I really would like to do some sort of a workout 2 to 3 times per week minimum. If it's more, fantastic, but it can't be less than 2. Even if that is just go outside and get a walk in. I need to move my body more often. I have been extremely unhappy in my body, and I get it that, we all have our struggles, and for some of us it's a vanity thing, for some of us it's a health thing, for some of us it's a mindset thing and mental health. For me, honestly, I think it's all of the above. I definitely feel less healthy than I did a few years ago. I definitely have gained weight. I have a closet full of gorgeous clothes I haven't worn in years that I refuse to get rid of. And I know people say, like, don't do that, just get rid of it. No. I am going to fit into my favorite dresses again. It will happen. And also, my mental health has been a traveling roadshow of yo-yoing and up and down roller coaster rides. And I'm really hoping that a consistent workout schedule is going to help in that department as well. So that's 1. 2, to help me with the health journey and also to help me with my financial journey, because that's a topic we're not going to discuss today, but that is a constant subject of stress for me. So in order to help me get healthier and also help me financially, I am limiting my takeout or ordering in to twice a month this year. Some people, that maybe is still too much. I live in New York City. For a lot of people here, it's like a daily thing. It's a daily thing for so many people. And I noticed that I have fallen into the trap of ordering more with each passing year. I live on my own. I'm not motivated to cook just for myself as often, and I'm trying to change that. So I don't want to say like no takeout at all, because I know that's not realistic. I am going to start with twice a month and see where that takes me. This does not include going out though. If I'm going out with friends, that's not takeout or ordering it. So that's not part of this. And on that topic, and it doesn't have to be going out to dinner and spending money, but in general, I would like to spend more time with my friends this year. I have very few but very good friendships, but other people in my life that I care about as well. And I want to dedicate more time not only to the people that are constants in my life, but those that I've lost touch with or I'm not in touch with as often. And it doesn't mean I have to physically get together with everybody. I just want to make time for the special people in my life a little bit more in 2025, whether it's doing a few FaceTime calls here and there with some of my friends that are not local, whether they're in, out of state or even out of the country. And of course, the people that are here in New York that I do see on a regular basis. I want to continue to make more memories with them and see them even more often than I have in the past couple of years. Because I teach so much, I don't have as much time to practice anymore as I did when I was younger. And I want to challenge myself to learning 2 absolutely brand new pieces this year. Even if it's not for a performance or anything like that, even if there's no deadline or a reason to, I just want to spend more time at the piano and I want to learn some new things. And then as far as my students, I would like to organize some more performance opportunities for them. I used to be so much better and so much more like invigorated to do all sorts of special projects for my kiddos, whether it was Sing for Hope performances. There's an organization that puts pianos all over the city and they are usually painted by artists, local artists all over the city, and then at the end of their little out in the world stint, they get donated to nonprofit organizations. And I used to find like where these pianos would be located and block out a time on the website and organize little outdoor performances for my kids. I used to take them into nursing homes for outreach programs to play for the elderly. And then COVID happened and I don't know, burnout, I don't know what happened, but lately I've just found myself not being as energized by what I do. And it's kind of scary to me because I've always loved what I do. So I've really struggled with that the past few years, and I'd like to start maybe some new projects and include the kids in them and see if maybe that re-sparks my joy for my profession. And lastly, again, kind of on that vein, I would like to take some sort of an enrichment course or join some sort of a program this year. Something I was thinking about all of last year, and actually my friend Steven just joined a choir in Chicago, which is where he lives, and I was even telling Steven that, it's something I've been wanting to do for quite a while here in New York. Unfortunately, my teaching schedule clashes with all the rehearsal times for the choirs because, of course, most people work 9 to 5s and rehearsals are in the evening hours, and I teach after school. So I start work later than most people, but that means I also finish later than most people. So I don't know if a choir is going to be in my cards. I'm still going to keep researching in hopes of finding one that maybe rehearses on my day off. But I don't know, either an online course in something. It doesn't necessarily have to deal directly with music. It could be just something I want to do to expand my mind. Maybe volunteer somewhere, something that is outside of my norm. So yeah, that is basically what I have so far on my list. I'm sure as the year goes, this is going to ebb and flow, but I figured I'd share it with you guys. And I also would love to know, what are some of the things that you hope to accomplish in 2025? What are some of your personal goals, some of your hobby goals, makeup goals, anything you want to share? I'd love to hear it. I hope that this was enjoyable for you. This is not a very serious video necessarily. I mean, to some extent, yes, it is serious, but I don't want to give it too much weight because I am somebody that if I put too much pressure on myself and if I start slipping, I end up giving up entirely instead of just saying, hey, it's okay. Like 1 week is not a big deal. You can get right back on to your routine. So that's why I'm trying to keep this a little bit more flexible this year. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself. And I want to see at the end of this year, now that I've put this video out, what ends up happening and if I end up accomplishing some of these goals. Thank you so much for being here. And other than that, I hope that you guys are all doing really well, continuing to stay safe and healthy, taking care of yourselves and those around you. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye guys.